Today I'm sharing a few of my favorite Christmas albums. Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing a few of my favorite Christmas albums. Now my family we're just huge fans of the record player. We love the turntable, we love the old vintage records, and we are always on the hunt for more. Both of my boys like vintage things just like I do. I guess I've trained them well, and they've always gone to thrift stores and yard sales and things with me, so I guess I've just trained them in the hunt for those things. And whenever my boys were probably about middle school, both of them became big fans of the old vintage albums, and both of them ended up buying turntables and playing different albums. And so I have both of their collections here. Now, I had gotten rid of just about all of my albums, and then when the boys came along and they wanted them, we started looking for a lot of the albums and rebought half of them that my husband and I had when we were younger. My mother-in-law thankfully had kept most of hers, and so she gave a lot of them to the boys. And so my son, my 23-year-old, when he moved back home, he stored his in my library, so he has a long shelf of lots of albums. And then my 18-year-old, he is a musician, and so he loves all kinds of music, and so he has collected a lot of them too. And his is actually in our den below his turntable. He has a stereo in our den, and that's the one that we play mostly. But my son is my 23-year-old is storing all of his albums here too. So right now I have lots of choices. But today is just about the Christmas albums, because I thought maybe we could just talk about some of our favorite Christmas songs. So I'm going to start with the Statler Brothers, and this one's called Christmas Card. This was one that my husband added to our collection because when he was growing up, his mom and aunt loved this record, the Statler Brothers, and they played it all the time. So for him, it is super nostalgic, and he loves this album. I like it okay because I like the Statler Brothers okay. It's not my favorite, but he loves it. There is a song on here. What is the name of the song that he loves so much? I think it's I Never Spend a Christmas That I Don't Think of You. I think that's it, and it's super sad, a Christmas memory kind of song. And I think that his mama would, cry every time it played or whatever, and he probably tears up sometimes. He doesn't admit it, but he tears up sometimes when he hears it too. But this is a favorite for him, so of course we have to let him take his turn and play the Statler Brothers on our turntable. Then this one is one of my son's favorites because he loves the Beach Boys, and this is the Beach Boys Christmas album. My 18-year-old loves the Beach Boys, so this is one that he likes to play a lot. And I like it too because I can remember a lot of those songs when I was growing up, remembering the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys too, so that's a really good album as well. And by the way, let me know in the comments if you have a favorite Christmas album or a favorite Christmas song. Let me know that in the comments too. And then of course I could not have a stack of Christmas albums without the Bing. Christmas with the Bing, of course. We always have Bing Crosby playing at Christmas time. And this is one of our Christmas albums of Bing Crosby, but we have several Bing Crosby albums. Now, when we go out to thrift stores and estate sales, we're always looking for more, and we have found tons of Christmas albums. So that's why we have collected quite a few, because when you go to estate sales and places, they will practically give them away. So that's the way to buy vintage Christmas albums. If you go to a lot of these used bookstores, they can be a little more pricey that way. But we have bought some that way sometimes, but usually it's thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales. Anyway, the Bing is a favorite. A couple of years ago, we had there's a theater here that always host these wonderful Christmas programs. That's where we went to the Nutcracker just a couple of weeks ago. But they had Christmas with the Bing, and it was fantastic. It was a guy who, you know, it was one of those cover band kind of things, and it was this guy who sounded just like Bing Crosby. He had this trio of ladies who were supposed to be like the Andrews sisters, and they were fantastic. And my 18-year-old, he was probably 16 or 17 at the time, he loved it. He just thought it was the best Christmas program we'd ever been to. And we go to Christmas programs. We try to go to those each year, but he still thinks that was the best one we'd ever gone to. So I'm hoping to find some more like that because he loved it so much. And it really was a great one. But both of my boys love crooners. They love Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and all of them. So they enjoy that kind of music. And Bing Crosby can just play a solid Christmas song. So we always have Christmas with the Bing every year. Another one that is a classic favorite is Gene Autry. The Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer album is a favorite. I love this one. I love to hear Gene Autry sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's just etched in my memory, and I have to have that play. So this is another favorite. I'm sure you know that one too. Now this is a favorite of mine in particular. I think the others like it okay, but for me, I always play this one at some point during Christmas time, and that is the Carpenters. This one happens to be Christmas Portrait. I don't know if they have others, but this is the one that I remember playing when I was a kid, and I love the Carpenters. They're just a beautiful duet when they play. I just love to hear Karen Carpenter sing. She just has such a beautiful voice. And these songs, I'm trying to remember some of my favorites. I think I like all of them on here. But these are some that I remember as a kid loving. And so I always try to pull this one out sometime during Christmas too. And then I have some others that we've picked up along the way just because it's songs that I remember. Like I have a Connie Francis. I mean, look how beautiful she looks in that picture. I just love this album. I think that's one of my favorite covers. It's just so mid-century looking Christmas album, and I love it. That one's Connie Francis. And then of course I'm a huge Doris Day fan. I love to hear her, so that's a great one. Great picture of Doris Day on this album. This one's called the Doris Day Christmas album. Love that one. And of course we have several Elvis albums, and this is an Elvis Christmas album. You know, there's so many Elvis albums out there, but this is the one that we play at Christmas time. It has Blue Christmas, of course, is one of his famous ones, but that's a beautiful cover too. We have several Johnny Mathis. We're huge Johnny Mathis fans too, so we have several of his. And then we also have, like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we have some children albums as well. And you can't have a children's Christmas without the Chipmunks, and this is Christmas with the Chipmunks, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. And I like this one because it has that on that side and then this one on the other. And I just like the way this album is. It has these beautiful bright colored cartoons on each side. So I really like the look of this one. We have a couple of Chipmunk albums, but I like to hear the Chipmunks. Some people don't like them, but I do because it reminds me of my childhood. And then this one is one that I think I mentioned this on when I was, Kate Howe had interviewed me, and she just posted that I think last week, Cozy Things chat that she does, and for some reason she asked me to do it, and so I was very honored to be on Kate's channel. But I think I mentioned this as one of my cozy things, and that is the Charlie Brown Christmas. This is a favorite album for us. Now, this is not an old version. We had this, but I don't know what happened to it. So a couple of years ago, they came out with these beautiful copies of this. And so I actually gave this to my son at Valentine's because it came out around that time. And it's one of those green ones. I think they have different colors, but I love the color of that one. But of course, we love Charlie Brown, the Charlie Brown Christmas. And what I like about this is there are a couple of Christmas songs, but you could play this album any time of the year and I would not tire of it. I just love this album. It is so relaxing. That jazz music is just softly playing. And there's a lot of mornings after I put up my tree you know, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm an early bird. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But sometimes after I have done the things that I need to do before everyone gets up, I will have the tree going and I will put this on and I will just sit and drink my coffee and have a few peaceful moments with the Charlie Brown Christmas album. I love this album. It is one of my favorites. And again, I can listen to it all year long. So that is a favorite. But this one is my absolutely hands down favorite. And you're probably going to laugh when you hear what it is. Before I say, guess in the comments what you think my favorite Christmas album is. Of course, this is a favorite, but this one is the one that I always claim is my favorite. So before I tell you, try to make a guess in the comment. Now, I'd be interested to know what you think my favorite Christmas album would be. But we have other Christmas albums, but these are my top ones. These are the ones that we listen to a lot. This album is the one that I always ask for when we're playing games, when we're doing things. I want to listen to this one. We have it on CD, and so here's a hint for you. When we go to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, I always play this. I don't care what time of year it is. I play this Christmas CD. So that's a huge hint because I do play this when I'm headed toward Dolly's home place in Tennessee because she lived close to Pigeon Forge and she has the Dollywood amusement park there. And so I always know I'm going to see billboards of Dolly when I go to Pigeon Forge because we like to go there from time to time. And so I always play this Christmas album. I don't care if it's Easter. I'm going to play this Christmas album as I head toward Tennessee. But my favorite Christmas album is the Kenny and Dolly Once Upon a Christmas. I love this album. I love it. And look at this great picture on the back of the two of them. These two were the best duo for me. Now, it is country, but I was raised on bluegrass music and country music. So for me, I love country music from old country, not the stuff they play today. I'm not into that because that's not country to me. I'm talking about old, good old country music. And for me, Dolly and Kenny did it the best. And there is a song on here that is my favorite Christmas song of all time. And if I think about it, I'll leave a link if you're interested in hearing it and you've never heard it. I highly recommend all of the songs on this album. But my favorite is I'll Be Home with Bells On. And I will leave a link if I can find it so you can hear it. That song just thrills me when I hear it. And I sing it, I'll sing it randomly throughout the year. I just love it so much. But especially at Christmas time, I always am ready to hear I'll Be Home with Bells On. Because it's just, it's peppy and it's Dolly. And it's just everything I love about a good hometown Christmas. And so if you have never heard I'll Be Home with Bells On, I will put a link to it in the description box below so you can enjoy it too. But that is my all-time favorite. I know there are beautiful hymns and Christmas songs that I love, Oh Holy Night and all those beautiful Christmas songs, and yes, I love all of those songs. But for me, I just get excited when I hear Dolly sing I'll Be Home with Bells On. So that is a favorite for me. And I know it's cheesy, but I just love me some Kenny and Dolly. I just love them. They were a great duo in the 80s. They were a favorite for me. So those are some of our favorite Christmas albums, Christmas songs that we enjoy through this Christmas season. Do you listen to Christmas albums? Let me know in the comments what's your favorite Christmas song. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.